Okay, so hey guys, please don't mind my voice for this video, or how I kind of look rancid right now because I am kind of sick, but consistency is key. So yeah. So one of the hardest things I found about getting a bearded dragon, which he's over here by the way, a bearded dragon is convincing my parents. My parents, they are not reptile people, like, at all. Especially my mom, like, she's scared of reptiles. Like, even, like, in the zoo and stuff like that. Like, whenever I went to the zoo, I've been always interested in reptiles. I would always be the only person going into the reptile building, and they all waited outside. Which is kind of unsafe, but, like, let's just say, they don't like reptiles. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to convince your parents to let you guys get a reptile, because trust me, convincing my parents was definitely kind of hard. So in this case, responsibility is key. You have to show that you're responsible, because these guys, they do take a lot of responsibility, especially with money-wise. Money was one of the things that I struggled with getting this guy so much, is because their tank and their equipment, if you don't get the right stuff, they're gonna die. And the right stuff was pretty expensive. So money was one of the hardest things that I had to show responsibility on. So I had to save my money for, I think, like 6 months. And I was 12 while I was saving money, because I got him the week that I turned 13. So yeah, I was 12 while I was saving this money, and let me say, it was kind of hard. So one of the steps that I think would have helped me a lot, that, like, honestly is kind of helping me now because I kind of want to get a leopard gecko, is if you have social media, like especially Instagram, because Instagram has so cute reptile videos, just like thinned cute videos of baby bearded dragons. Send them to your mom, send them to your dad, and so then instantly they're gonna be like, "Aw," and they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Why don't we have one?" I mean, they're probably not gonna think, why don't we have one? But they might as well think, that's so cute, the little baby. Maybe they're not so scary after all. So yeah, I would say continue sharing those videos, because those videos, they're gonna help you. They're gonna help you in the long run. And that can be motivation for your money, because let me just tell you, it was so hard not to spend money. Like, it was so hard. Another thing that I did that my parents were like super shocked that I did, I don't know where they are. I can try to go find them for a second. I couldn't find them. But basically, I got like 6 whole pages written, every single line of research on these guys. So please do your research, especially if you want any reptile, because you have to get the right stuff. You have to know how to take care of these things, because they're not they say that they're beginner, but they're not really beginner. Okay, so you basically have to really do your research. And my parents, they were so impressed about how, like, behind the scenes, how much research I was doing. They were like, when are you even doing this? And I had so much research, and I had it at the very tip of my head. And they would be like, how about this for a bearded dragon? I'm like, no. And then I was basically like rap god rapping out like facts. It was crazy. And I still can, but let me just say, at that time, whenever they didn't even know I was really interested in these guys, they were very impressed. Now, what I did personally with basically all of my pets so far, whenever my parents say, we've had enough pets, no more pets, if I bring up having a pet, which I did with my guppies, we're not going to talk about that right now. I did with my guppies, and I did with this guy. I made a presentation. This guy was like a 13-page presentation. It took me so long to make a presentation, because I included all the facts. And important fact that you will need to add on your presentation, and I will do a video about this soon, is what to do whenever you're on vacation, because it's a little kind of hard, like what to do with your pets whenever you're on vacation, especially like dogs. Like, you can just get like a dog sitter, but not everybody knows about these guys, and not everybody knows how to take care of these guys. And so it was a little bit hard. Hey, Alfalfa. Not only did I convince my parents, I convinced my sister, which my sister was like, heck no, heck to the no, heck no, heck no. So my sister was like, no, 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 no. And not only were my sisters like that, my grandparents were like that. My grandparents hate reptiles, hate them, hate them. But I still convinced them that these guys were the best ideas. And not only, but my grandparents did pay for that guy. They didn't pay for any of the setup, but they paid for that guy. So money is one of the hardest things that it took me to convince my parents about. They were like, okay, you can have this pet, but where the heck are you going to get all that money from? So personally, what I did for money is I crocheted a lot. I crocheted a lot. I saved up from my birthday. I saved up from every single event. And just like people knowing how much money I was saving up, it was then like my mom was like telling these people at church, like, hey, she is saving up so much money for this stupid lizard. She didn't say stupid lizard, but that's what she thought. And so they would basically help me out and be like, hey, here's a little $10. And that helped me out a lot, I'm just gonna say. And the last and final thing was, you just gotta show so much interest in these animals, like so much, that they're like, oh, this wasn't like a little phase that she was going on about. This is like something that she's actually like wanting to take care of. And also, if you have other pets, please take responsibility. Like, if you have cats and you hate doing the litter box, do the litter box. But not only do the litter box, but do the litter box every now and then. And if you have fish, really show interest in your fish, okay? Because, like, while you're interested in this, you have to be interested in your other pets and say, hey, I can, like, what's that word for doing two things at once? I don't know what that word was for doing two things at once, but, like, hey, I can do multiple things at once. I can take care of these guys while also taking care of my cats. I can do this guy, and then I can also take care of my fish. You really gotta show that responsibility. So, responsibility. Like, if they're like, clean your room. If you can't even, like, because some things my parents would just pick at me about, and they were like, hey, your room's not clean. How are you gonna take care of a pet if you can't even take care of your room? And I'm like, good point. Let me go clean that up real quick. And also, bring up the idea and ask them, or do this presentation if you're actually doing a presentation. Do this presentation way before actually getting the pet. Because it kind of took a few months for my parents to actually be like, okay, this is actually kind of real. So you might actually get a lizard. Because if you spring up the idea on them, but then you're planning to get a lizard the next month. No, I did mine 6 months before, but it was also in the winter time. So, like, I obviously wasn't going to buy a bearded dragon in the winter time because I don't want it to be in the freezing cold, like, going home and stuff like that. But, so, those were my tips and tricks for convincing your parents to help you get a bearded dragon. That's personally what I did, and my parents, they don't really like bearded dragons, like, at all. Like, my mom, she still loves this little guy. She loves him. She won't touch him. She won't touch him. But, yeah. So, overall, thank you for watching my video. Hopefully this helps. And please subscribe so I can get a leopard gecko. Bye!